I got some good news, some bad news, and some worse news. The good news is we ran your fingerprints through our system and we got a match. So we know the name you gave us was probably made up. Let's start with a simple question. Who did you say you were looking for again?
Chloe.
That's right. I remember you said that before. Except there's no one named Chloe at that address you were creeping around at. Or even within a 2-block radius.
I overshot. Messed up. I'm way too far back. They haven't moved to Texas yet.
You ain't making any sense. You need to start explaining yourself, you understand? I'm running out of patience. You tell me the truth, and I can let you go if it all checks out.
Even if I told you, you wouldn't believe me.
Do you have anything better to do right now? Tell me a story. It's your best bet.
Alright. It was this class, taught by a Professor Beckett, and I was his teaching assistant.
Well, I'd like to welcome you all to our class. Mr. Lang, I expected our undergraduates to be late, but not my TA for my most important course. Especially not on the first day of class.
Sorry, Professor. It won't happen again.
Seems I heard that before in our fundamentals class last semester. Class, let me introduce you to Mr. Adam Lang. He will be your TA when he is present and not perpetually late. Other than his tardiness, he is an excellent resource when he's focused. But let's continue on to more interesting subjects. My quantum physics course, or as it is now called, quantum science, concentrate mainly on the theories and studies of tachyon dynamics.
What's it? I can't even say that.
Eloquently asked. What are tachyon dynamics? Anyone here can tell Brad what the study of tachyon dynamics are? Jill.
It's a study of utilizing and manipulating time displacement, chronological sliding, or quantum jumping, and the resulting equilibrium effects it has on our history and memories.
Well, that clears it up for me.
Jill, one more time, in simpler terms.
Bro, it's time travel, alright? And what happens when you mess with it?
Gotcha.
Thank you, Ms. Monroe. Here's a moral question for you all. Besides the reason for craving science and learning how things work, what would be the reason for the desire to travel in time?
To change something.
No, never, but we'll get into those reasons later.
For the greater good.
Vague.
Visit ancestors or your past?
Sightsee the future. Yeah, the future. And to see if they've perfected those virtual sex dolls.
Gross.
No, not like that I've tried, or I don't even know.
Anyone else? Not you, Brad.
Can I use the board to explain my question?
Please.
This straight line is our original timeline as we know it. And let's call our time traveler our protagonist. After the first leap back, he causes an event, which becomes a new timeline, which creates something like this, with new history, new event. If we go back again, an additional timeline, and so on and so on, what happens to the people from the original timeline once the alternates change it?
It will reclaim, collapse into itself, and equalize back into one timeline, making it the new timeline zero. Or at least that's what we've seen in the short experiments that we've done.
Wait, you've tested this?
Yes, twice. We only went back at most an hour in a very controlled environment, and it gave us incredible data. Not only will that person be outside of time, but any object like clothes, devices, or anything as well.
Oh, this is giving me a headache. I really hate science.
I can't wait to read this. It turns me on just thinking about it.
I love science.
Professor Beckett, what happened in your experiments? What was it like to time travel?
Well, sadly, I was not the one who got to take the trip. I was told I don't quite pass the medical requirements. I'm not sure why with my obvious peak physical attributes. But, as I was saying, there were some unforeseen side effects. We're still working on them. In the time being, our sponsors have put off any more live experiments. We tested our theory first with 2 of my colleagues on separate trips. Unfortunately, they both died shortly after returning. So it's far from safe, but it is a reality.
Died after they came back?
Something we haven't thought of yet, maybe. We theorize it's maybe like the bends when you come up from deep sea diving in the ocean. We just aren't sure yet. We will continue next class. Please continue reading Chapter 1, start on Chapter 2. And please remember to read the prep material. Adam, is there something on your mind?
Nothing, Professor.
Do me a favor. Be on time for class next time?
Okay. Are you drunk? Huh? Are you high? On Special K? Chasing the dragon?
I told you everything.
Told me what? You just told me a story of a teacher, a student, and a girl who gets horny talking about science. You know what will happen if I put that in my report? I'll get to see a shrink.
You wanted the truth. That was it. The longer I stay here in one place, the more dangerous it will be for you and everyone around me. When I came here, someone followed me through or came after me, and they're going to find this place.
I'm gonna have you tested for everything. Heroin, shrooms, meth.